Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jasmine and I'm going to be going to Stanford in the fall. I feel like I say this a lot, but you know what? If you're new to this channel, hey, what's up? So today I'm going to be going through one of the last parts of my Stanford application that I haven't gone through yet, which is the Stanford Short Takes. The first thing that Stanford asks you to do besides your 3 supplements and your Common App essay is this like kind of, it's not as long as the supplements and it's not as short as the short takes. So it says briefly elaborate on one of your extracurricular activities or work experiences, 150 words. This is where I chose to talk about dance because if you watch my supplement videos, and if not, you totally check them out, I didn't write a supplement about dance, which is probably kind of weird. I had my art supplement, and then in your art supplement you have to have an arts resume, so I had those 2 things, so I didn't want to talk about it in a supplement. Also, not that it's cliche to write about like dance or in art, but to me it's just harder to write about art without being super basic. Even though dance is a huge activity for me, I felt that it was in other parts of my application, so I just chose to talk about it here. And so I'll just read mine. It said, I began dancing when I was 2 years old and participated in competitive dance from ages 8 to 16. Following my acceptance to the school that I went to, I auditioned and began performing professional repertoire with a dance ensemble from age 16 on. Over the years, I trained and performed in ballet, modern, contemporary, tap, hip-hop, African dance, Filipino dance, flamenco, Bollywood, and folklorico styles. Being on stage, performing in front of large audiences, and dancing alongside other passionate performers energize and invigorate me in a way that nothing else does. The performing art of dance is a powerful form of unspoken communication. Having it alongside me for the entirety of my academic pursuits gives me a unique perspective and drive that shapes my intellectual success. The first half of it is pretty just straightforward to the point of like what I did. But I also kind of tried to tie it in at the end to like how dance helped me in my academic life, how it helped me intellectually, you know, kind of just tying it into like how it related to my life. So I thought it was pretty short and sweet, but it's still well written, you know, don't just brush this one off. Every single thing you write in your application is important, honestly. Next, let's talk about the Stanford Short Take. So these are 7 questions that are super short. You only have 50 words to answer it, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's not a lot of words at all. I tried to look up a lot of these short takes to see how people answered them and like the kind of format that I like best. I came across this YouTube account, I believe it's Sue at Stanford. I don't think she posts that much anymore, but she goes to Stanford now. And her short takes were, of the ones that I had seen, the most informal, but also the most impactful. I just really liked hers when I read them. Her like, her style, because if you're trying to pack it into 50 words, you know, you're not going to be trying to write like necessarily like full sentences each time. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about, but I was kind of inspired by her more informal take on it, and so you'll kind of see that when I start reading mine. The first one is, what is the most significant challenge that society faces today? So what I put is, we can be proud of our race, ethnicity, culture, sexual orientation, and political beliefs, but membership in any group does not define the entirety of who we are. Assumption that one conforms completely to the stereotypes of their labels should be diminished. And in some ways this is kind of a basic answer. It annoys me when people like think I'm a certain way because of a certain way that I identify in one of these categories. So, I don't know. I just kind of wrote it. I didn't really edit this one. It was just true. So, this one, how'd you spend your last 2 summers? So, as you can see, mine is in bullet points. And nothing wrong with bullet points at all to me. It allows you to put more in the 50 words. And yes, it's more informal, but it's still formal in a way where it's like, it makes sense, you know, I'm not just like, I'm not taking notes, like I like formulated how I was gonna put this. So I put 2 summers ago, my first New York City trip, I visited family in Hawaii, and then I trained at Joffrey Southwest Summer Dance Intensive. And then last summer, or the summer for my senior year, I conducted research in a neuroscience lab at a local university, vacation in Vancouver and Seattle, volunteered at a company that provides care for adults with disabilities. And I decided, I put mine in order of, I put mine in chronological order. So then it says, what historical moment or event do you wish you could have witnessed? I wish I could have witnessed my early childhood as a third person. My memories of my childhood are what my parents have told me. It would be fascinating to see how I behaved and how I was cared for. Tracking my development could provide explanation for my eccentric personality. This was a more creative one. I know a lot of people did like famous events, but it was like events that pertain to maybe something they were interested in, like in the field or one of the extracurriculars, like just something that had happened in the past was related to that. I think that's a good angle to take. Mine was definitely a little bit more eccentric than that, but that would be a really good angle to take. So the next one is, what 5 words best describe you? So I put mildly caustic, which means that you're like sarcastic, meticulous, germ freak, self-assured, and tenacious. So some of them are like about my personality and then some are about my work ethic. What I put was Kristen Hanna's novels about women with a family, successful career, and love. Basically the dream. It's a little sappy, a little cliche, but that's my favorite author of all time. And then I said YouTube. I literally watch YouTube all the time. I said love watching other people's lives and hearing foreign opinions on US current events. And then Ladies Who Lunch is a podcast by Ingrid Nelson. She's a YouTuber. And I don't listen to her that much anymore, but I did at the time. It was like a woman empowerment podcast. It was pretty cool. And then old teen Nick reality shows. The nostalgia never gets old. I think this is a real one to put in your personality and like actually who you are. I think reading this one, it's interesting. It shows a lot about you. It shows a lot of different layers of just what you like to do for fun. I really like this one a lot. I think it's cool. Name one thing you are looking forward to experiencing at Stanford. So mine's a little basic. I put I'm looking forward to the multifaceted curriculum at Stanford. I know I love subject-based in math and science, but I want the opportunity to discover untapped interests that I may have. I'm excited about the access to exploration that Stanford will not only provide, but celebrate. That's truly the main thing I'm excited about at Stanford, is that you are encouraged to explore so many different fields and not tie yourself down to like one career or major. Like they really want you to explore and just try out a bunch of cool things, and that's because I don't know what I want to do. So I know a lot of people took the approach of like, if they want to pursue comp sci or they want to go pre-med, they would be like, I'm really excited to take this specific class from this specific professor, and that showed that they like did research on the school. You know, I know a lot of people take that angle. The last question is, imagine you had an extra hour in the day. How would you spend that time? Literally, I looked this up online and like every website was like, don't put you would go to sleep for another hour. Which is funny because the first time I read this, I was like, oh, I would sleep for an extra hour, like of course. I put I would love to start a bullet journal, a customized calendar / notebook. The confining nature of store-bought calendars and journals have never seemed to cut it for me. Bullet journaling would be a way to satisfy my organization obsession, passion for aesthetically pleasing stationery, and fascination with calligraphy. In these 7 short takes, I think it's kind of the opportunity to put in the things that you wouldn't think are like cool or like important, but are just interesting things about you that make your application seem more like they're coming from a real person, not just like a robot who's done all these activities. Personally, these short takes are very important. Definitely don't blow them off. I think it's really your chance to show who you are as a person. You know, they're very short, but all of the, like, everyone who has gotten in my year that I've read and other past years that I've read, reading the short takes are like some of my favorite things to read about people, because it's just so interesting and like cool to like see who they are as a person beyond just like the cool stuff they did in high school. Like, I don't know, it's just cool to like see who they actually are. So definitely I would suggest, you know, now you've listened to mine, but then look at other ones online. Like, read other people's. Best of luck to all of you guys on your college applications. Give this video a like if you liked it. Comment down below anything you want. Follow me on Instagram too. I'm probably posting a lot from Italy right now, which is super fun. So follow me on Instagram if you want. I hope you guys have an awesome day and go start that application grind. Like, it's time. Okay. Bye.